Anytime you say it has to be, you're in trouble.
Yeah. Or like the person that said that their product had to work a certain way because they already had the name.
Yes.
Well, I don't know what to tell you. It's easier to change the name than change physics.
And we're back. No Followers Podcast, Bob T. And today we have producer Robert.
Where I'll think of a really good idea, I'll write it down, and then I immediately Google it though. I want to see if I'm the first one to think of it, look into the other product.
Yeah.
What's wrong with it, and then be better.
I think that's what we're trying to get at, which is like, if you have that mindset of you have a really good idea and then you look it up to see what the market looks like that's the mindset we want to work with, because you want to see where you fit into that. And just because someone else has it doesn't mean there's not also room for you, right? There's other incubators out there. That doesn't mean that there isn't
But the other problem
a need that we fill.
The other problem, though, that most people forget about is they always want to be the first. Very successful companies are usually not the first mover in any industry.
First mover advantage is only real if you're, in my opinion, if you're a monster company.
But even that, you have to think about, if I'm the first to ever do this, what do I have to do to get people to even understand what I'm doing? I have to educate the market.
Let me tell you.
That's lost dollars. They're not buying it.
Yeah.
You're just educating them.
Yeah.
So you might as well be a not-for-profit.
Let me tell
Right?
you. It's true. It's, and again, like what you were saying, Robert, about competition, just because you don't have any, let's call them direct competitors, which you do.
You always have no.
I'm sorry, but you do. There you go. Yeah.
You always have no.
A substitute is still a competitor. You know what I mean? Like, you need a full suspension bike. I am the only one that has true integrated rear suspension. There are other suspension options. It doesn't mean that I'm the only one in town. You know what I mean? Like, there are substitutes that are also competitors to my product. But the thing for me is, like, if you have that mindset of it's normal to be excited about a new product or a new idea, and this is true for large companies too. You have existing product lines, you want to launch a new product, I think you're going to run into two things. You're either going to have groupthink, where people go, we've been doing it this way for so long, we're making money, we don't need to look at anything new. Or people that are overly zealous and excited, this is a new product, it's going to change everything, blah, blah, blah. It's probably somewhere in the middle. But sometimes you need an outside venue to get out of the groupthink, to come into reality and say, okay, what are the actual implications and costs and what's needed to get this to market? And I think that's the void we're trying to fill, is be in that area.
If you're a larger company, groupthink and leadership is usually a big kind of hurdle to innovation and to change and to process efficiency.
Absolutely. Especially in teams.
Because you have
you get
personality.
Into your role. Yeah. You get into your team role. And I mean, I think everyone's been in a large enough company meeting, no matter what size that company is, where someone might have a good idea, but because of politics or dynamics or something like that, it's shot down or it never comes to be. Well,
they don't even have to be in a company. They can just think about their educational experience. Yeah. You're in a classroom. Sometimes the person with the biggest voice is the one leading the conversation. Yeah. Right? Regardless of what you're saying, you're not going to get attention.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's an interesting point. So I think that's what, we disagreed a little bit before about the rest of the incubator scene and where we fit. But my opinion is, if you're the personality type that Robert just said, where you're excited about your idea or prototype or MVP, but you need more market research or you need a team to help tackle it, and you have that mindset of, I want to see where I fit in the market, what else is out there, and how to do this, that's what we want. If you don't want that answer, we're not going to be a good fit, because we're going to give you the answer regardless, and you're not going to be happy about it. You know what I mean?
Well, the answer is never what you wanted. It's the answer is what is needed.
Yeah, to move forward.
And that's always a compromise. So.
Yeah. And again, not knocking the other incubators. You just got to find the one that's right for you. That's all. One other point I wanted to make, because this was brought up too. When you talk about, let me look at my notes. Oh, you were talking about like we have a vested interest in you. It's how we make our money. It's how we recoup the money we're putting into the incubator and everything we're doing here. I just wanted to clarify that because I think that's important. Stage 1 and 2, right? Incubator and accelerator is non-dilutive. We don't take anything. It's the third step, which is the co-funded launch through the fund, where we would work out the details of it, which I know you have a model that works, which I'm not going to give away in that secret sauce, but I just wanted to be clear about that. Like in the incubator stage, it's just a pay to play thing. Like we're not taking anything. We're not taking equity. We're not taking royalty. We're not doing anything. You come in, we try to move you forward. Accelerator stage, same thing. You come in, we try to move you forward. Once you get to that third stage, if all the pieces line up, if our team is a good fit, that's when it's the payback plan, which is we try to recoup money by finding teams that we're a good fit with and we think we can help move the needle for them through launch and into the future. So I just wanted to be clear about that.
Yeah, but that's on the operational level. On a marketing pipeline reach level, you're not paying enough to be here for 6 weeks.
Right.
Okay, so we have a vested interest and we have to recoup it by media, by reputation, by moving the needle, because that is what we're going to use to attract other companies. And listen, we don't expect every company to make money with us because that's not realism. But at a certain point, these products have to go to market to make money, right? So there's always, we're putting money in for certain things, and metrics are what leads us. Our biggest metric is commercialization to sale, but there's all these other metrics, right? Reach, social media influence, pipeline development.
Yeah.
So
Absolutely.
That's what I was talking about on a broader scale.
Yeah. I just wanted to be clear about the fact that we're non-dilutive at the incubator and accelerator level.
Yep.
Just to be clear.
Fail fast.
Fail fast.
What does that really mean?
Right.
Because people get it wrong all the time.
Yeah. Commonly said, and the only thing I was going to say is that it can look differently for different people in different companies. Fail fast doesn't necessarily mean shut your whole business down if you have a business. Shut your whole business down and pack it in. It might just mean move away from that idea or move away from that market and take your same idea and spin it into a different market. It doesn't necessarily mean fail as a company as a whole, as a person, you know.
Well, I think you have to separate person from business anyway.
Well, I think that's
but you could be
done.
Well, I mean, we all have we all have vested interest in our business enterprises, and a lot of our feelings about ourselves sometimes are tied, but you do have to separate business and personal. And I think, understanding that allows you to be more open and collaborative. If you don't have that this is all about me and my ego and my vanity, right?
Right.
But the failure part is, are you open to actually listening to market intel to make changes, right? It doesn't mean shut down your business. Sometimes it does, though.
It does.
Sometimes you just got to cut it and like move on and come up with another idea, because no person has just one idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's one of those terms that people throw around and they don't even know what it means.
Yeah, it's definitely a buzzword term.
But it goes back to what we just talked about, though. People don't know how to read research. They don't know how to take intel in and analyze it.
Yeah.
Right? So they have all these missing gaps, but they're like, oh, it just means you should close it.
Yeah. And again, like the people I want to work with are the people that would say, I don't know how to read research. Can you guide me, show me, whatever? The people I don't want to work with are the people that go, I don't want to see the research. I don't want anyone else to do the research. I just want to be super clear. I'm not interested in.
But we're wrestling with that with some of our members right now. We're giving them research and they're like, well, they should just know. So, I mean, regardless of where their stance is, it's our job as a team to kind of get through that. Like, we're always going to have bumps, right? We don't all mesh all the time well together. But we just had an experience with a focus group with a very established consultant firm. What they took away from the focus group that we ran for them and what the focus group members said were night and day. And the consultancy doesn't want to even think about it. They're like, no, that's not the way it is. I was like, it's right here. Like, we have it on video. We have it in after action reports. We have our own analysts look at this. Like, you are so far off base. That is not your customer base.
Yeah.
And like, well, it has to be.
Yeah.
Anytime you say it has to be, you're in trouble.
Yeah. Or like the person that said that their product had to work a certain way because they already had the name.
Yes.
Well, I don't know what to tell you. It's easier to change the name than change physics. You know, like you got to have it comes down to that emotional intelligence, right? You know, how.
Maybe common sense.
Well, common sense too. They all tie together though. Thank you for listening, watching, and subscribing to No Followers Podcast. We'll see you next week.